previously on Talk That Talk.
Because if I have to add a counter melody to this song, I am being creative, but is the music creative? So,
Rick, since music is related to culture, has today's music affected marching band creativity?
Yes and no. Yes, because as Mario said, people just picking the. Okay, I'm gonna be so politically correct on this answer, Mario, because I'm tired of getting these weird. There is a formula, y'all, for being considered one of the best bands, and I'm gonna tell the secret. One of the parts of the formulas is you have to have a large book. People are adamant about going out here telling people how many songs they have in their book, whatever that number is. I have my own opinions on these large books, but that's a whole nother story because you'll never play that stuff in a game. But it's easier to pad a book with 30 rap songs that is literally 16, to 32 measures of music total, as
in
opposed
similar
to
keys,
right
in
the
similar
same
minor
key.
keys. Yep.
Your kids can play in D
chord
minor,
progressions.
right, or F major. Your kids can play E flat minor or E flat major or C minor. You in there because those are the same fingerings. You can play that concert F. You good. So it's easier to pad your book with those type of charts, and then put the second part of the formula, which is high baritones and horns, and a groovy bass line and drum part in there, rather than learning some ridiculously hard arrangement. That's why I give Southern credit, because for every rap daddy that they hit, they got a Beyond, and they got like Quan, what you were talking about, the song that people don't even know. 2 examples. I had never heard the song I Remember before. I've never heard that song before, but listening to them play it made me go find the song, and it's a dope track. I think their arrangement is better than the song. Sorry, but yeah. And then another example that comes to mind is That's the Way of the World by Earth, Wind & Fire, that album. Every single song on that album was on the radio except for one. And the one song that wasn't on the radio is my favorite song on the whole album. And it's a song that when I get my own band, I want to try it. It's got mixed meter in it and all. It's called See the Light. It's one of the ballads on that That's the Way of the World album. So for those of y'all that trust my music sense, go check out See the Light by Earth, Wind & Fire. It is a hot chart, man. Like, it's crazy. And it's one I'm going to do once I get my own band. But I agree with you, Quan. Those tracks are, to me, the most influential in HBCU band culture, but they're hard. I know a lot of band directors, Quan, that will turn down arrangements because it's going to take too long for the band to learn them. From what you put in them to the actual melodic content to how long it is. Like right now, all these band directors are under the same stress. They have to put out a band that can play 50, 60, 70, 100 songs to counter out the other band that's doing the same thing. They're going to hit them rap daddies repeatedly because it's easy to learn them. It's easy to execute on them. The kids like them, so they play them at full force. They usually learn those faster. That's the second part of this conversation, or third part of this conversation. The students put more energy into them songs, them rap daddies, than they do into learning those other songs. Like Mario's critique of PV. They're a great band, but they don't always know their music on some of the songs as they do with others. And I agree with him on that. Them rap daddies, I ain't heard a rap daddy that sound like they didn't know it. But when they hit that Someone to Love You at the beginning of the year, it was like, yeah, they don't know that. Or some of those other charts. The Chloe Bailey song? So I think that it's all about the energy and the how efficiently the students can learn this music and put the energy into playing it at a high level. But I also think that it's easier to be considered a successful band when you constantly squeezing them rap daddies in the fifth, during the game, everything else. So much so now, Quan, that on Darrell and them show, a rap song won Song of the Year. Like one of them rap daddies won Song of the Year, that Power by Southern. And granted, Dr. Taylor wrote the hell out of it. Good, kudos to him, man. It's a strong song. But that one song of the year over, Young and the Restless, which I thought was song of the year. Like from an execution standpoint and a writing and harmonic standpoint. Or some of these other tracks that are out there that people are playing. So, I don't think that the culture side of it affects what we're talking about. Although I think that that's where the culture is going. Creativity is going to be what those particular bands say it is. And I think that's where I've come to, Quan and Mario and Maya and Julie. I think that's where I am now. At the end of the day, with all the fighting that we're doing to make other things popular other than just the group thing, I'm also a realist and realizing no matter what I think, that's where the culture is going. And that's, and in some cases, it's not even dictated by musicians. It's dictated by non-musicians who have a louder voice and a bigger platform.
All right. Maya. Since music is related to culture, has today's music affected marching band creativity?
So, to me, this is one big cyclical contradiction, honestly, because I'll tell you why. Well, clearly I have no choice but to. One part of it, the creativity, the songs are out there, the options are out there, the more than just the rap daddies or everything that comes on the radio is out there, in which we have, or you all have all mentioned in some shape, form, or fashion. So in that regard, no, I don't think that. Well, yes, it does affect quote unquote creativity in the sense of no, let me not say that. I think it affects not necessarily the band itself, but the staff, because who was putting this type of music or who was making the choices to play said songs or said arrangements in front of the program in itself. So I do think that that's one part of it. Now, the other part of it is, saying, okay, well, sure, if the rap songs are easier to play, that also contradicts conversations that we've had in the past, right? So if it's easier to play, does that make it right? Because if we're going to have a program of substance, if we're going to have a program that is going to push the narrative, that is going to push, I don't care if it is the easiest thing. My band is going to be one of substance. It's going to be one that challenges itself. So are we now disregarding what we've said in the past, that in terms of, how should I say it? In terms of what we produce, are we willing to kind of step to the background and say, well, we're just going to do what the easiest thing because we got to get a show on the field in 7 days or at the end of band camp or what have you? That's a contradiction in terms of that piece of the conversation. If y'all are still rolling with me.
I'm a little confused as to how it's a contradiction, because I don't think anybody said that we don't want to play the rap daddies or that we want that to be the basis. I think we're all saying, while those songs are important, like I like a good rap daddy just like anybody else. Matter of fact, from that conversation we had with Justin, because he told me I'm not allowed to say that Holy Grail is the only rap song I like. I went back and listened to Holy Grail, and it's still my favorite rap song I've heard, from all the bands. So I don't think we're saying that. I think we're saying in addition to having a nice rap daddy in your book or 10, you can have how many you want in your book. Don't let that be the basis of the fifth quarter. That's been our argument the whole time. You can have the zero quarter. In my opinion, the zero quarter is all about them rap daddies, because you establishing, who you are as a band. It's kind of weird to me when I hear bands playing ballads and anything in the fifth quarter other than marches and them rap scuds. During the game, play whatever you want, but in the fifth quarter, that's what that is. It's a showcase of your band program. And if the only showcase we hear is them rap daddies, you're not showcasing anything. I mean, people ain't gonna like our comments, but it's true. Rap daddies are easier to play and learn than any of them other songs. Like, you put Beyond, the Southern Beyond, against some of them rap daddies, it's not even close as far as the difficulty level. So
yeah, exactly. So I think that we're kind of now saying the same thing, because so if we're talking about the creativity, right? So like when PV plays Cell or Genesis, Now, I have not looked at the sheet music, so I cannot be the first to say like whether these are more challenging or complicated pieces versus not. I would assume it's yes. I could be wrong. But I'm saying, so if we are willing to say, okay, the creativity, if there are songs that are out there that are more challenging, but we choose, or the from what we have seen, based off of the evidence, we're gravitating more towards rap songs or the easier or less challenging pieces because it's easier to build a grander book than have select pieces of greater challenge or that take longer to learn or that takes more instruction to be able to depict correctly. Then isn't that the contradiction towards the sense of creativity?
No, because Maya, in those instances, people aren't playing those songs in the fifth quarter to flex their musical chops. They're playing those songs to flex their muscle. I'm louder than you. I'm more aggressive than you. So, like, the thing that always gets me, Maya, is a band will go out there, they'll play the most technically proficient song ever, like Mario talked about, the non-returnable songs. They'll go out there and they'll play Get Away by Earth, Wind, and Fire. That used to always be one of the go-tos that people would do because it was 16th note galore. They would go out there and play that, and the next band would play a Rap Daddy back because they know the crowd is going to go, ooh, ah, high baritone, screaming mellophone. Like I said, it's a formula to what is considered successful now. So it's easier. More people now, Maya, in my opinion, this is not the opinion of the band world, this is Rick's opinion. More people now are concerned about what the internet says than what their integrity is as a program. If any program that I'm involved in ever, I don't care where it is in the world, we're going to hit them rap daddies. But we're going to hit them rap daddies after we learn Get Away.